And welcome into the Center for Recreation and Sport here in Garden City, the campus of Adelphi University, for this women's basketball contest between the Adelphi Panthers and the visiting Chestnut Hill Griffins. Hello, everyone. Tom Verda here alongside Joey Jarzinka. And Joey, it's been a good start for the Panthers so far. 2-1. Seems like the defense is playing really well, and it was certainly shining in their dominant win over Felician last time out.
Absolutely, and we got a chance to talk with Sade Jackson this week leading up to this contest, Tom, and something that she had said is that this team is becoming more cohesive as the season goes along, right? One of the takeaways from last year's 7-win campaign was that we need to be more family-like. We need to be more connected, and you got a chance to see that on the defensive side. We know what Sade Jackson brings, right? Her number one tactic is defense first, and she brought that against Felician.
So a good start for the Panthers. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Chestnut Hill, a 20-9 season last year, but a little bit slow out of the gate this year. Only 1-2 so far to start the year, and they're trying to kind of build a new sense of identity, I guess you could say.
Oh, 100%, and that's something too whenever you have a brand new head coach, right? First-year head coach Megan Fox from Division III's PSU Abington, which is Penn State University and one of their affiliates down in the middle of the Commonwealth. You got a chance to see what this Chestnut Hill team does, Tom, on a daily basis, and they are gritty. They are powerful. But this team is filled with returners, right? Yeah. And one of the messages that Megan Fox had said when she had arrived in the city of brotherly love is very simple, is that we are going to get things back in order and we're going to win. There's a lot of room that this team has to grow, and they're just getting started.
And real quick, any thoughts on a key to today's game? What are these coaches looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing for Sade Jackson is defense mentality. Let's repeat everything that we were doing on Wednesday. You take a peek on the opposite side for Chestnut Hill, and we just have to really just box out, begin to get some baskets underneath, and really just exploit the youngsters that Sade Jackson's team has accrued so far. They're a young front court team.
All right, well, looking forward to this one. Tip-off just moments away. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the tip. That's coming up next here on NE10 Now on Flo College.
Remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now it's time for the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Chestnut Hill Griffins. At guard number 1, Kaylee Edwards. At guard number 4, Andrew White. At guard number 5, Brady McCann.
And a welcome back here to Garden City, Long Island. As we said, just about set for the opening tip between Adelphi and Chestnut Hill. Let's get you the starting lineups, and we will start with the visitors under head coach Megan Fox in her first season. As Joey told you in the pregame, they'll start with a pretty small lineup, 4 guards and a forward, it looks like. So Kaylee Edwards, the 5'10 junior from Queens, she wears number 1. Avery White, the 5'5 junior from Pottstown, PA, she wears number 4. Bridie McCann, the sophomore who was the CACC Rookie of the Year last season, certainly a player to watch, wearing number 5 in red for Chestnut Hill today. Kayla Mobley, the 5'7 junior, one of those players that Coach Fox brought with her from Penn State University Abington. She'll wear number 15. And the lone big in the starting five, Bree Ryder, the 5'11 senior out of Nottingham, Maryland, rounding out the starting five for the Griffins, who were picked third of 6 in the CACC South preseason poll. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, as we said, off a good start to the year, 2-1 in the conference under head coach Sade Jackson, now in her 4th season. They'll start with Caitlin O'Connell, the 5'2 senior at the point. Isabella Asensio will also do a lot of the ball handling, the 5'4 sophomore from Midland Park, New Jersey. Rounding out the starting five, Rolanda Robinson, the 5'8 senior and team captain, wearing number 14. Christina Sanchez, the 5'7 junior out of Copiague, wears number 15. And the big in the front court is Gamila Benton, the 6'1 freshman out of Ocean Township, New Jersey. And when you talk about what they lost from last year, Joey, it is their, of course, starter at center for the last few years, Jenna Jordan. And so Benton, the freshman, has immediately been thrust into that starting role.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that Megan Fox had really brought up, right, is that how can we exploit that youth that Adelphi has in their front court? This is, Tom, remember a couple of years ago, right, when Sade Jackson arrived back at her alma mater. It was very simple, right? It was backcourt was really the veteran presence in front court, and then it flip-flopped, right? Now we're back to year number 1, right, where the backcourt is really veteran-laden now. So we're going to see now what happens here with the front court presence. No longer Jenna Jordan there. She's now actually on the coach's bench, so still good to see her there, and we'll see now what Jordan potentially maybe has given that freshman in terms of teaching.
And we saw some signs of it last year from Isabella Asensio, but it looks like she is ready for that breakout year this year, averaging 17 points per game over the first 3.
It's truly remarkable to see. And, we got a chance to ask her about with Fordham, and really Bella Asensio came to fruition in that one this year.
Opening tip is won by Adelphi. They will be going left to right here across your screen in the home white tops. And, of course, Chestnut Hill in the visiting reds will be going right to left. Robinson controlling. Near the free throw line, she'll pop for an early 2, and that's a miss, pulled down by Kaylee Edwards. Pushing the other way, her pass immediately tipped and stolen, so good early start on defense for Adelphi. They get it to O'Connell. She'll drive towards the baseline, picks up her dribble, backs it out up top, and now they move it on for Asensio.
Keep in mind, Tom, something that Sade Jackson wants to get KK, or better known as Caitlin O'Connell. She needs to shoot.
O'Connell with a 3 ball. That's no good, but she's had a good start from 3 this season, 33% through the first 3 games. So getting back to that 3 ball that we've seen her use effectively throughout her career, as the Griffins now control with Mobley. Backs it out up top for White. Right side picks up her dribble. Now a 3 from the right side from McCann is left short, and Robinson pulls down the board. Here is Robinson using her speed, blows down the outside, tries to go up for 2. It was contested well, and a nice rebound in the end by Benton to get a second chance opportunity here for the Panthers.
Something that Jackson had told us also is that we have to do better crashing the boards on the offensive side there. That was a good start.
Nice handoff, little pick and roll back to Benton, and she couldn't get it going. Could have been possibly a travel as well, but either way, nice defense, good recovery by Kaylee Edwards. She'll hand it off on the outside. White on the dribble drive to her left, lost the handle, and the referee says Adelphi ball. So a couple of early turnovers against this Griffins team, and we're going to see the first change of the game. Benton will make way for Ariana Kupi, the sophomore transfer from St. Rose.
Yeah, and for those that don't recall, St. Rose had shut its doors at the end of last academic year. So Adelphi in all sports, Tom, it's been Adelphi's gain. St. Rose's lost. They've been adding a whole slew of St. Rose talent.
Asensio gets Kupi her first touch of the game. She sets a screen for O'Connell. Extra pass to the corner. Asensio will try it from downtown, and that is good. So an early 3-0 lead here for the Panthers. Right back the other way. McCann will pop for 3. That one is in and out. And a nice rebound eventually pulled in by O'Connell. Has Robinson to her right. Instead goes right to the cup, and that's good for 2.
Coast to coast there for KK. What a job there. And again, they need her to shoot. They need her to execute. She's doing exactly that in the early going.
Edwards up top. Little handoff there for Mobley. She'll pop from outside. That's a miss. And again, Adelphi has done a good job so far today of keeping Chestnut Hill to these one-and-dones. Here is O'Connell. Attacking, goes baseline, the kick to the corner, 3 on the way is good from Sanchez. So the 3 ball is starting to fall here. Panthers out to an early 8-0 lead.
Well, what did we say early on, right? Defense turns into offense. That's what we're seeing here, and we didn't see that a whole lot last year.
And here they pick Bree Ryder's pocket. So 3 early turnovers and a quick drive the other way. That one just wouldn't go, though, for Asensio. Right now it feels like Chestnut Hill is playing fast, and I'm not sure if that's leading to the turnovers, but now they get a good look for 3. They just missed the shot. So they have had some decent looks, but so far now 0 for 4 from downtown.
Well, that's the biggest thing, right? And I think you said that perfectly, right? They're playing fast, but it's not really converting or transitioning into shots, right? Translating into shots, Tom. And I think the big thing here is that they're taking these shots rather early. They're not really getting set. And that's something that we're seeing from Megan Fox. She's screaming to her team, really get set, slow down the pace. They're not doing that right now.
Emily Sekarak checking in. She is one of the bigs on the bench, coming off the bench for this Chestnut Hill team. And here trying to defend against O'Connell. Kicks to the corner. Another 3 is on the way and good from Sanchez. So she's got 2 early 3s, and the Panthers have come out flying. It's an 11-0 lead. And a 30-second timeout here taken by Megan Fox.
I mean, again, you can't draw up this script any better for this Adelphi Panthers team. That they had a really good win on Wednesday. They look to continue here today, and right now it's a good start. But now my biggest concern here, well, Chestnut Hill took that timeout. How does Adelphi respond after that? That momentum effectively stopped. We'll see if that continues or if Chestnut Hill can get something going.
Panthers so far 4 of 9 shooting, including 3 of 4 from downtown. They've got 3 assists and 3 steals, have yet to turn the ball over. Meanwhile, for Chestnut Hill, 0 of 4 shooting, all of those from downtown, to go along with those 3 turnovers as we mentioned. And the Panthers have done a good job there getting them to turn over a few times with that defense, as we talked about in the pregame. They go inside here for Sekarak, and she draws the foul. So the first free throw attempts for either side coming up here. And it will go to Emily Sekarak, the 6'2 senior out of Bethlehem Catholic in the PA area.
Yeah, Sekarak there, Tom, if you noticed, right, just on the near side of the paint, she was trying to get around Sanchez there and very stiff. Use the body, move things around a little bit, try and get underneath possibly. Did not do that there.
Sekarak last season really was her first year as a starter and turned that into a CSC Academic All-District pick, 9.8 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, but this year she is coming off the bench and unfortunately wasn't able to take advantage from the free throw line. Now the Panthers turn it over. They get it back to McCann down this left side. McCann sending it up top again for Kaya Mobley. Long 2 on the way is out, and so far a lot of settling for shots from outside on the perimeter for Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, they're not getting anything in the paint right now.
O'Connell for 3. That's a long distance 3 ball. 14-0 Panthers.
Well, when we spoke with Jackson, something that she told us was that KK needs to shoot probably about 10 times in a game. So far, well, she's got 3.
They go inside to Sekarak, and a great job on defense. The Panthers collapse on her, and it's Kupi who got her hand in there for the steal. Back the other way, Asensio for a triple, and that one caught the wire up top, so out of bounds. And it will go back to Chestnut Hill. And so far, even with the timeout, Chestnut Hill hasn't really been able to stop this Panthers momentum much.
I think it's more on the lines of they haven't really been able to stop the Panthers, period. That's, I think, Tom, their biggest concern on every facet of this offense. They can't get anything going.
Off the dribble, feed inside, and another foul. So Chestnut Hill will have another chance to go back to the line. Asensio is whistled for the foul there. And going to the free throw line will be Tiayo Adelcan. First one on the way from Adelphi is up and good. On the season so far, she has done a great job of getting to the line, leads the team in free throw attempts and makes, came in 11 of 15. And she goes 2 for 2 on this trip.
Well, you get points on the board. That's definitely a good start. But again, from the floor, though, 0 for 4. They need to figure something out here.
A little bit of pressure brought by Chestnut Hill as well on that last sequence. It looked like a 2-2-1. Tough drive, spin, and nice finish from Rolanda Robinson.
And something, too, that we're really not seeing here, right, is Adelphi, too, right? In that paint, Tom, what we should be seeing, hands up. We're not seeing any of that. Really on both sides.
They feed back inside to her and just won't go for Adelphi. Back the other way here comes O'Connell. Moves it near side, Asensio into Robinson again near the free throw line. Halfway through the timer, O'Connell kicks it back near side, Asensio. Nice baseline move, and how about that one? A pretty runner is good to go.
So 5'4" versus 5'9" that time, a 5-inch difference. Keep that in mind. We'll let you soak that in.
And Chestnut Hill is out, stepping on the boundary line out there in the corner. So another turnover, and Panthers will take it back, leading 18-2 here with under 3.5 to play in the first. Couldn't really script it much better if you're Adelphi. They've played good defense, hit some threes, and also done some damage a little bit closer to the hoop so far again today. O'Connell again will pop for 3, and that one is an air ball, but fortunate they get the break as this one is last out off of Sanders.
All right, now on this defensive adjustment here, will we see one with Chestnut Hill? Look underneath.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. The kick to the corner, O'Connell for 3 again. This one just wouldn't go. But she was wide open, and it's getting a little bit too easy at times for the Panthers today.
And you can see, and I know the folks can't see, right? I'm pointing in the corner.
And there is Adelphi going up, gets the bucket and the foul. So she's got all 4 Chestnut Hill points so far and a chance to add 1 more here from the line.
Yeah, and what's really that scouting report, right? When you think about it, if you're Sade Jackson, right, you want to look at Avery White, you want to look at Bridie McCann, simply because those two were the top 2 on this team last year in terms of points per game, in terms of overall field goal percentage as well, coming in with 39% overall this year for the 2 of them. And really, we have not seen those 2. They've done a really effective job shutting those 2 down.
This one is no good from Adelphi, who was a tremendous high school player, Class A All-State Player of the Year as a junior at Archbishop Carroll in Maryland. Robinson spinning righty hook, tough shot, gets it to go.
Yeah, Rolanda Robinson just coming right back into the woman that she was last year, even the year before as well.
And here Robinson coming up with a rebound. We know that's such a huge part of her game. She's already got 4 points and 4 boards in the early going of this one. The kick for O'Connell. Again, a quick catch and shoot 3, and count it for O'Connell.
Well, KK 2 for 5 from the floor. I mean, she right now is red hot.
She's up to 8 points here as they collapse down low on Adelphi. And O'Connell winds up coming up with it. Back the other way quickly, Robinson. Nice feed inside and just couldn't be handled by Koopy. Back the other way, it is McCann, and she gets her first bucket of the game. As we said last year, the CACC Rookie of the Year averaged 14.4 a game after arriving from Siena, so brings that Division I type of talent here to Chestnut Hill. O'Connell kicks it left side, back out. Off the dribble, O'Connell blows by her defender, but a great recovery there by Adelphi. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A straightaway 3 is in and out, just wouldn't go. and Chestnut Hill comes back the other way.
Chestnut Hill needs help. It cannot be all Adelphi right now. That's all it is for Chestnut Hill.
Mobley kicks it outside, now gets it back in the corner. They go right back to Adelphi, and this one is a miss and rebounded well by Sanchez.
Okay, so we know the game plan, right, is clearly Adelphi. So now, at the end of this quarter, Tom, I would very much expect a little bit of a change. Let's try and open things up a little bit wider.
Chance for a fast break opportunity the other way after the steal. It's a miss, but nobody is following up except for Bridie McCann. And so she will cash in for an easy second chance bucket. And that will make Sade Jackson take a timeout. I don't think she's going to be thrilled at Adelphi not getting back well enough on that sequence.
No, and that, again, that's something, too, that you look to last year, right? And we said to Sade Jackson over and over again, right? We don't want to focus so much on last year, but you look at some of the woes that this team had gone through where you can only go up with certain things, right? And one of those woes that we just saw a few moments ago is something that this team has worked on all throughout the offseason. So I'm sure that that'll be a quick change. You're seeing discipline, Tom, is so much better. We were talking about Rolanda Robinson earlier. Something that she had a problem with last year was foul trouble, right? She would average about 3 3/4 fouls per game. And there were numerous instances where she would foul out. You're seeing the discipline also, taking foolish fouls. This is a completely different team, and you're seeing it here. Little miscues here and there, but they're definitely better on the surface.
Only about a second or two differential here as we come to the close of this first quarter. We'll see how quick Adelphi goes. Robinson thought she had a good look. Instead, gives Chestnut Hill about 10 seconds here once they get it across midcourt. Down to 7. And a foul is going to be charged to Adelphi here. And they still had one to give, so doesn't really hurt them too much. Now the Griffins will inbound here with 5.5 left to go. They get it to McCann. She'll pop for 3. It is good for Bridie McCann. And that is how this first quarter will end. 23-11 is the lead for Adelphi, but finally Chestnut Hill gets a little something going there at the end of the first. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment here with the second quarter action up next. You're watching NE10 now on Flo College.
Chestnut Hill will start the ball in the second quarter.
Back here for the second quarter, live from the Center for Recreation and Sport. Tom Verda here alongside Joey Jarzinka. A good first quarter for the Adelphi Panthers, leading 23-11 over Chestnut Hill after one. Chestnut Hill starting with the ball to begin the second, and who else do they look for but Adelphi? Able to finish again on the inside, and another trip back to the free throw line.
Well, all you need is one sometimes, right? And something, too, is very simple, is that if you begin to get hot, then you have to slide over, right? And now Adelphi clearly is just doing one heck of a job here. And again, narrowing the lead to as little was 10. Again, it was it's about a 19-point lead back about, give or take, 3 minutes ago, and a little different since then.
Her free throw attempt is no good, so that drops her to 2 of 4 on the day, but McCann and Adelphi have all 13 points so far for Chestnut Hill, so it's just been those two doing the heavy lifting. This pass was a little bit high for Benton, and it winds up leading to a turnover off of her fingertips. Couldn't be saved on this near side by another freshman, Madison Williams, out of Brandywine, Maryland, wearing number 5 for the Panthers. And so again, we'll see Chestnut Hill with another chance here to further cut into this lead. And a traveling violation is called against Anessa Malone. So the freshman out of Tobiana, PA, played her high school ball at Pocono Mountain West, called for the walk. And that is turnover number 6 against Chestnut Hill thus far.
Yeah, that number continues to rise. That is definitely not a good thing.
This one is touched out to the outside. Adelphi will keep it going with Victoria Morgan. Eventually, it looked like she was about to turn it over, but it winds up going through the legs of the Griffins player down low. Kaylee Edwards was not able to corral it, and so a lucky break for the Panthers there. O'Connell now will have it under the hoop.
Something that I noticed here is that you're seeing Adelphi being a little bit...
As a 3 ball from Williams, no good.
So you're seeing a little bit of, I would say, opposite of cohesion now. You're seeing a little bit of a disbanding, and that's not something that you want to see now.
We see that new post matchup down low, and immediately Benton is able to force a miss from Delcan. So good change there for Sade Jackson, and Benton doing her job down low. Back here with O'Connell, hands it off for Williams, and the kick again for Morgan. The shot is no good. And my error earlier, it's Letitia Willis who's actually checked in as Adelphi able to draw the charge. And that will go down as another turnover against Chestnut Hill. So it's Jackson going to the more experienced hand in Willis, the senior transfer from Queens College, who actually started her career with St. Rose in the NE10 as well, but has now found her way back to the conference here with Adelphi.
And played with Bet Namovsky, their head coach over at Queens in the ECC. One of a few transfers that left Casino Boulevard.
Willis will hand off for Morgan. Thought about the 3. I think the Adelphi bench was hoping she was going to pop for it, but instead she moved it along to Williams for another 3 attempt and just couldn't hit. Back the other way, another turnover for Chestnut Hill. And that's got to be driving head coach Megan Fox a little crazy in this first half. A lot of unforced turnovers so far for the Griffins.
Yeah, and again, to see these turnovers continue to rise, Tom, we said it earlier, right? It's not a winning recipe, and the more that you continue to turn the ball over, the more chances off the turnover that Adelphi will have to score. And right now, Adelphi has not really capitalized on that. They've only recorded 3 points off the turnover. Megan Fox's team has to really be thanking.
So the turnovers are now up to 8 as Williams got herself in trouble by picking up the dribble, almost turned it over. Now they get it to Morgan on the outside, under 10 to shoot. She drives inside, and the foul, I think, is going to bail out Morgan there. Otherwise, that would have been a huge block. But instead, it goes as a blocking foul against the Griffins, and Morgan is going to shoot 2 here.
Adelphi, they have not scored in this second quarter as of yet. And Tom, a little nugget here for you. This Adelphi team back in the first quarter throughout this entire season only scored 40. Scored 23 here in the first 10 of this game alone. Absolutely remarkable stuff.
So Morgan finally breaks that scoreless drought, which was nearly 5 minutes, and ends the 9-0 Chestnut Hill run. So 2 big free throws there, and restores the lead back to 12 here for Adelphi. They try to throw this one inside, and again, good defense, much better defense we're seeing from Adelphi now in the post. As, again, it was Willis making a nice play on the inside there. Robinson trying to do perhaps a little bit too much off the dribble, and she winds up turning it over here on the travel.
Well, you brought up about some of the unforced turnovers for Chestnut Hill. Well, you can also give it at times to Adelphi. They have 5 total turnovers and 3 by way of Rolanda Robinson.
On the season, Adelphi has really been taking care of the ball, averaging only 9.7 turnovers per game, as a nice finish on the inside by Sekarak. And so I'm sure Coach Jackson is a little bit frustrated that they've already turned it over 5 times with still 6 minutes left in this first half. So lead back to 10 here as the Griffins trim it by 2. The kick left side to Morgan. Nice feed inside to Willis. Extra pass outside. 3 on the way is no good from Bieberman.
Have to give credit there to Willis, Tom. You run right into a wall. She showed that veteran experience.
Meanwhile, a left corner 3 back the other way for Chestnut Hill, and that one just won't fall. So good effort there in the corner from Sanders, but the Griffins continue to struggle from deep. 1 for 6 so far from downtown. Adelphi will try another one from downtown. That was Morgan, and it wouldn't fall. Baseline drive. Good defending by Bieberman. It winds up falling to McCann. She tries the runner, and it's an air ball. And that will allow Adelphi to settle things down again as they've got O'Connell walking it slowly up the court. And you wonder how long it will be until we see players like Asensio and Sanchez again, who certainly helped the Panthers get off to that big lead, but found themselves in some early foul trouble with 2 apiece. As a long-range 3 gets the hometown roll for Morgan.
Yeah, and again, Victoria Morgan is another player who's been on this team for quite a long time, has now been seeing an increased role beginning last year.
That's a bucket knocked down here by the Griffins.
Yeah, and again, the increased roles for a lot of these Panthers. Well, it's now or never is the time, and we're seeing it here this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a big jump for Morgan last season. Had only played 15 games over her first 2 years, and then last year she jumped up to play in 23 games, including 7 starts. So she's become a much bigger contributor here to this team in the last 2 seasons now, the senior out of Liverpool, New York.
And something too, Tom, since you and I have seen this team last year, and I think we've spoken about this too on and off camera too, is very simple, is on-court awareness, right? Lauren Bieberman right in the far corner from where we are. That awareness we did not see last year. And sometimes it happens with a year under your belt, but also sometimes too it happens when you're just more cohesive. Yeah. That's really what it comes down to, and the communication is so key. We didn't see a lot of that last year.
Yeah,
you see a lot of these people, and a lot of these players rather, they're really talking to one another this year.
Good system, good communication. Players know where they need to be on the court. That all helps, as Robinson here with a miss. And looks like this pass finds nobody. Boylan was trying to send that one up court, and maybe it was in between 2 different Chestnut Hill players. It winds up out of bounds again. So turnover number 10 against the Griffins so far, and Adelphi will inbound with Bieberman.
This Adelphi team, or rather this Chestnut Hill team, if you will, Tom, they average 18 turnovers per game.
So a new head coach, as you said, maybe still trying to get down some of those systems early on in the season before they get into the CACC conference play, of course. O'Connell will put it up for 3. That one a little shy. Sekarak with the board, gets it to McCann. McCann kicks left side. 3 ball is up from White. Back iron. And now Adelphi can slow the pace down a bit. Out to Robinson. She waits for some help to arrive. Up top now for O'Connell. A little over 3 to play in this first half. They move it on to Willis. O'Connell handing it off for Morgan on the edge. Morgan now will drive left hand. Sneaks it into Willis, but a walk. Nice idea. Tried to go back inside to her big, but just a shuffle of the feet before she got the ball down, and Chestnut Hill will take back over.
Yeah, you can see that, right, Tom, with that left hand. She was about to go down. You saw that hesitation and then that left foot drag. So valiant effort put forth there by the senior.
Griffins again trying to find a way to get it back to single digits heading into halftime, and a foul on the edge, and this one I think is on Robinson. And those are some of those fouls that we saw a lot last year, those ones on the perimeter that, maybe you don't really need to pick up, especially for a player as important to her team as Robinson is.
Yeah, and again, just simply step back a tiny bit, right? And I get the fact that you want to press, you want to try and, play as best defense as you can, but there are times when, again, step back a tiny bit.
This one is knocked down by the Griffins, and they will cut it down to an 11-point lead as McCann and Sekarak out, Tamoon and Sanders in, and for Adelphi, Morgan out, and Maura Carney will see some action here today wearing number 10 for the Panthers.
See that, Tom? Chestnut Hill maybe eat my words before.
And this one will go against the Panthers. So a moving screen, and that is going to give Chestnut Hill the chance to cut it back to single digits here with a bucket on this trip. Another change here. Bieberman is going to make way. And checking in is going to be Michelle Cancer, the freshman out of Albany, New York. Left side drive, tough runner, and that one will go. So a nice bucket for White, and we are back to single digits, 30-21 now with 2:15 to go in the half.
Yeah, well, championship mentality for this Chestnut Hill team. This Adelphi team does not have that.
O'Connell kicking it back out left side. A three is up, and a foul on the three-point shooter. They're going to charge it, I believe, to White. And that is huge as 3 free throws are upcoming here for Carney.
Yeah, that's just a bad foul to take there. And again, you understand the aggressiveness there, but that's a tough one. And this is a foul, Tom, that can really alter the momentum, especially when Adelphi is struggling. You get potentially 3. Could completely turn the tide.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to, again, restore that double-digit lead, which Carney has already done, and now she's made 2 of 3, so back up to 11 and a chance to get it back up to a 12-point lead. Interestingly, Carney did not attempt a single free throw last season, hadn't attempted one this season as well, and she does a good job at least going 2 out of 3 to make it an 11-point game again, as the Griffins will again have to work to get it back to single digits. The kick left side is a long 2 on the way for Ryder, no good. And this one is pulled in by Rolanda Robinson. Just a couple of possessions left in this first half. Adelphi again slowing down the pace a bit. O'Connell being guarded heavily up top. They put the pressure on her. They get it left side now for Robinson. Willis offers the screen. Robinson on the crossover. Takes it to the right, and difficult shot. Never really got set for that one. Back the other way comes Chestnut Hill. Good defense by Adelphi, trying to trap in the corner. Griffin's just able to pass out of it. This one goes inside. Sanders goes up with the left hand. It is good. Nice finish on the inside by Sanders, and again, she brings it back to single digits at 9.
Well, keep in mind, where did Sanders come from? PSU Abington. She knows exactly what her head coach needs and wants.
The all-time leading rebounder for PSU Abington. Showing off her post skills on the offensive side as well there. As a long 2 getting a little bit late in the shot clock there for Cancer, but that's a miss. And so again, another chance for Chestnut Hill the other way. Pretty good look, no good. And there's Sanders doing what she does. That's a big rebound. 3 ball from straight away is good. Knocked down by Boylan. And just like that, it is a 6-point game with Adelphi able to hold for 1 here.
Very curious to see the message heading into the locker room, Tom.
Final 5 seconds here. Robinson will pop, and that is a 3. Was very close to the line, but it counts as a 3, and that winds up being a big one anyway, so gets the lead back up to 9. But Chestnut Hill did a great job of fighting back in that first after they had found themselves in a big early hole.
Yeah, and again, to be able to do that and to be able to do it so smoothly, Tom, that does not happen unless you have experience battling adversity, right? This is a team that fell to Jefferson in the CACC final last year. Despite the new coaching staff, despite some new players, this team's championship and postseason mentality is in them, and they just showed it right there.
Yeah, this team returning 4 of their 5 starters from last year's team, as you mentioned, advancing to their first ever CACC title game. Adelphi, again, will still have the lead at the break, but certainly I think will try to clean some things up as they again let Chestnut Hill back in after opening up a big early lead. So we are going to step aside here. That's all for the first half of action. 35-26 is the lead for Adelphi. We'll be back with much more, including the full second half on the way. You're watching NE10 now here on Flo College.
Give it up here, Adelphi University cheer team. First dance team. Now it's time for your Adelphi University cheer team. Please welcome to today's participants. We've got Jaden, our camouflage, if you can see him on the right there, your left. And we've got Alex. Where's Alex? Alex in the blue. The rules are very simple, guys. Contestant who sinks the most free throws in 60 seconds wins. 60 seconds. Whoever makes the most free throws will be going home with a $25 Jersey Mike's gift card. Contestants ready. On your marks, get set, go!
And embracing the victory.
Amazing! Amazing! Come on!
It's about embracing self-discovery, growing as an athlete, a student, a person, and a leader. Being a Northeast 10 student athlete is about embracing you.
And a welcome back here to the Center for Recreation and Sport here on the campus of Adelphi University. Tom Verdi here alongside Joey Jarzinka. A 35-26 lead for the Panthers at the break, but certainly after the way the half started, Joey, I think Chestnut Hill probably the team that maybe is a little bit happier at the end of that first half because they battled back from a big early hole to trim this one down to single digits heading into halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 2 points here, Tom, that we got a chance to discuss about, right? The first one here, you look at what Chestnut Hill did in the first quarter. 4 for 14 from the floor, just 29%. Then, in the second quarter, 50%, 7 for 14. And right now, they're shooting about 40% from the floor. Overall, things look good. Then there's something else, too, that we discussed here, and we said we have to hit on it, right? Are the turnovers that Chestnut Hill has committed. 11 total turnovers, and only if we had a telestrator, right? Points off a turnover for Adelphi, a grand total of 5. That is why Chestnut Hill is really keeping this one really staying in this one, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, so they're -4 right now in the turnover battle, but +5 in points off of turnovers. So when Adelphi has turned it over, the Griffins have done a great job of turning that into points. In fact, Chestnut Hill, more points off turnovers, more points in the paint, more second chance points today. Adelphi has the edge in the fast break points, but a lot of things to like, at least if you're the Griffins and the way they were able to battle back. And for Adelphi, obviously you have to love the way they started getting out to that huge lead. I think it was a 19-point lead you said at one point. So, what'd you see in that early part from Adelphi that you really liked, and how can they maybe get back to that a little bit more in the second?
Cohesion, communication, that's the biggest thing. Down the stretch of the first half, Tom, I saw a lot of really just things falling apart. There was a lot less communication and kind of really you saw there were a few drives by Rolanda Robinson, to be very specific. And seeing her drive in the paint, there was a few opportunities where she could have kicked it out, potentially had a shot away, and instead went for it. It was really just one that you wouldn't expect to take. And again, the selfishness needs to go down a bit. We saw complete selflessness in the first quarter. We need to see that again.
We'll keep an eye as well on Cristina Sanchez and Isabella Asensio, limited to 10 and 7 minutes respectively in that first half because they both picked up 2 early fouls. Both out on the court to begin the second as an early 3 pop from O'Connell is no good. Teams switching sides, of course, so Chestnut Hill now going left to right across your screen, and the Panthers will go right to left. And so early on, the return to the starting five for the Panthers: O'Connell, Robinson, Sanchez, Asensio, and Benton. And for Chestnut Hill, Mobley, Ryder, White, McCann, and Sanders out there. Shot clock is getting low here. The kick left side, 3 ball is on the way, and that is good. And we're back again to a 6-point game, which is as low as it got late in that first half as the Griffins strike first from deep. So Panthers now will look to answer. Maybe a little bit of a zone there shown by Chestnut Hill. And again, O'Connell will try for 3, and she misses. So drops her to 2 of 7 from downtown with that last miss. Back up top to McCann. She'll drive and kick. Extra pass on the outside for White. Now she'll kick left side. McCann for 3, and 2 back-to-back threes for Chestnut Hill. And just like that, it is a 3-point contest.
So the question was, right, how do they respond out of the break? Well, they have not done exactly that. Chestnut Hill, they continued right where they left off.
Robinson goes back iron, and so that will allow the Griffins to have a chance to get within 1 with a 2-pointer here. It's Sanders. Little fall away jumper is no good, and Robinson pulls down the board. So Ryder and McCann getting things started with back-to-back threes to open up this second half. And again, Adelphi trying to find an answer offensively, and it doesn't come there from Asensio. So a chance back the other way for the Griffins. On the fast break, McCann wide open for a corner 3. It is good, and we are all tied up here, 35-35, and an early 30-second timeout taken by Sade Jackson as the Griffins have opened up half number 2 on a 9-0 run.
So that 19, ladies and gentlemen, 19-point lead has officially evaporated. And that is not good to say the least. And right now what you're seeing here, you're seeing Chestnut Hill. They're crashing the boards. They're getting these second chance opportunities. They're also out-rebounding Adelphi too, right? We said it before when we spoke with Jackson, something she told us. She said that my team needs to crash the boards. They need to get physical down in the paint. They're not doing that here, and we're seeing the ramifications of that.
This is the first tie in this ball game since 0-0. Panthers have led for virtually the entire contest. Chestnut Hill has never led in this contest. But again, we are tied. And again now, it is going to come down to Adelphi needing to show some of the grit and resilience that we've seen from Chestnut Hill so far in this game to try to fight back and reestablish themselves here in the second. Up top for Asensio. She works around the screen from Benton. The drive and kick. Robinson for 3. That one is too short. Long rebound by Asensio. Back to her in the corner. Bella for 3. Left it short. And so back comes Chestnut Hill as the Panthers settle for 2 3-balls. Sanders near the free throw line. She'll pop from there, and it rattles in. So there is the first lead of the contest for Chestnut Hill as they go up 37-35. And Sanders has really been a nice piece for them off the bench in this contest.
Oh, absolutely, and again, really, you got a chance to see, Tom, the bench come into full effect.
This foul will be charged against Chestnut Hill. The bench points in that first half were 15-7 in favor of the Griffins as they were able to get a little bit more off their bench. Players like Boylan, Adelcan, who we talked about a lot, Sanders, Sekarak, all providing a little bit of a spark off the bench when they were down early. Here is Robinson. She'll try it again. Left wing 3, and that is good. So the Panthers go back in front here, 38-37. Back to the right side for White. She'll try it for 3. No good. Rebound is tapped around, and Adelphi comes up with it. They try to push the break the other way. Sanchez, the drive and kick. Extra pass. O'Connell wide open for 3. Count it for O'Connell. And very quickly, Adelphi reestablishes a 4-point lead.
It's hard to be perfect, Tom, but you know what? That was perfect.
McCann got a good look inside, couldn't finish, and now a foul, as they say, a little bit of a push on O'Connell to kind of steer her out of bounds, and that's going to be maybe a lucky break for Adelphi. I'm not sure there was a ton of contact there, but again, it works out in the Panthers' favor here, and they have a chance to add to that lead with 6.5 left here in the third.
Yeah, I second that. And I think just from our vantage point, Tom, it looked like really both players got tangled up more so.
So Ryder is charged with the foul. Asensio left corner three is good. And so the Panthers have now taken 23 3-point attempts. They've hit 10 of them. That's been a big factor in the game. Ryder trying to answer for three, but no good. And as quickly as Chestnut Hill were in front, the Panthers have roared back here for a 7-point lead at 44-37. O'Connell. Nice take right side, and she will go all the way to the rim for the lay-in.
Fantastic work on the offensive side. They need that more.
They try to go inside to McCann, almost stolen away. McCann gets it back, and then Robinson with a big-time block from the backside. It will stay with the Griffins, but that is a big, big play on defense by Rolanda Robinson. So we get another look here on the replay. Big-time block.
Yeah, and that's what Robinson brings, right? She's able to really bring all of that, and we have not seen a whole lot of it.
12 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. That's kind of, that can be a typical Robinson game when she's staying out of foul trouble. She can contribute in a lot of ways for this team, as O'Connell again doing it by herself all the way to the rim and up for 2. Griffins will look to answer. They try to go to one of their favorite targets in the first half, Adelphi, but she spills it. A bunch of bodies tumbling, and now Robinson back the other way with those 2 bigs back at the other end of the court. And Robinson seizes the opportunity to attack and finish for 2.
Well, we said to you a few moments ago how this Chestnut Hill team, they are really exploiting everything that Adelphi has thrown at them. And now Adelphi on a 13-0 run in the last, give or take, 2 minutes and change. And that lead has officially ballooned back to 13. And again, all of a sudden, that 19-point lead had evaporated. Now it's back in front. And Caitlin O'Connell, what a job she has done. You have to give her so much credit. This is a completely different O'Connell that we're seeing here. And I want to just let everyone know here some statistics. 15 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. We'll leave it at that. Everyone else can determine their own conclusions.
You know, it's funny too, Joey, right? We see her go for that 3-point shot. Sometimes a ton of them in the game. She's had 9 attempts, and I think teams then forget that she can also take you to the rim, and she's done that now 2 times in the last couple of trips, attacking the hoop, getting to the rim, and has got a couple of lay-ins right around the basket in the last couple of trips. So she's doing it kind of inside and outside a bit today. Is almost a steal there for Robinson, but they say her foot just on the line, so that will spare Chestnut Hill from their 14th turnover of the game.
Yeah, something about O'Connell, too. One final thought is that Sade Jackson last year had really considered her scrappy.
They want to adjust the shot clock here, so they're going to put, I believe, 20 up on the shot clock, if I heard the referees down there correctly chatting with the scorers table. Or check that, they're going to put up 27, it looks like. So, again, it will be Avery White here to inbound the ball. And a chance to move it up court here for Mobley. Inside to Adelphi. And Sanchez fighting in there, scrapping it, trying to force the turnover, but they're going to say she made a little bit too much contact there on the arm. And so this one will go as the 3rd personal against Sanchez. And again, we talked about it, got herself in that early trouble with 2. That's her first so far in the second half.
This defense is scrappy, Tom. This is, we say this, we've said this before, this is such a different identity this year.
And O'Connell there causing problems for White, who wasn't able to bring in that pass. And so that is the 14th turnover against the Griffins. Robinson left wing 3, no good. and nobody really crashing the boards there for Adelphi. Chestnut Hill back the other way. Sanders for three. That is good. So Sanders up to 9 points now on a very solid 4 of 5 shooting.
Tack on the 6 boards as well. And really another good presence for this team.
Handoff on the outside by Benton for a 3-point look for O'Connell. Instead, back come the Griffins. A chance to drive here with Boylan. That one is off the mark, and a tie-up here going for the rebound, and the arrow will keep this one with Chestnut Hill, so they'll have the ball down low. 20 seconds here on the shot clock. Had trouble inbounding it on the last sequence, and this time they go up top again to Boylan. Hands it off for White. Tries it from the right side for three. Nice offensive rebound. They go inside again for Adelphi, and good hands-up defense there by Benton. Did enough to force the miss, and then unfortunately O'Connell throwing that one a little bit out of the reach of Asensio, and it gives the ball back to Chestnut Hill, but still a 10-point lead for Adelphi, part of a 15-3 run over the last 3.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, something that this Adelphi team is still struggling with a little bit is on the offensive side, despite the 50 spot that they've put up this year. They rank in the top 30 on primary defensive categories this year, Tom.
Defense has been their hallmark, as we've seen early in the season, and they've done a good job forcing turnovers again today. Nice job, though, by Adelphi staying with that one. And on the second chance, she is going to get herself back to the free throw line. Free throw attempts in the first were 6-5 in favor of the Griffins, but they had only gone 2 of 6 from the stripe. So I'm sure that is a number that Coach Megan Fox will hope they can improve on, leaving a few too many points out there in the first. And so now Adelphi, who was 2 for 4 in the first, having a chance to go back here in the second. And the first one is out.
And again, we always say, right, you have to make your free throws, especially right now they're 2 for 7, or rather, 2 for 6 in that category.
Second one rattles in, so a 1 for 2 trip. And again, that's been what she's been averaging so far in this contest at least. Came in, as we said, 11 for 15. Had done a good job overall. So lead is trimmed to 9. Panthers back in possession halfway through the timer. It's Robinson. Looked like she might have had a little bit of room, but I think that one may have gotten altered on the way. Back the other way, it's White. Thought that one was going to be close to a kick ball, but I don't think it ever actually caught the leg of Benton, who did a good job of pursuing White on the edge, and it wound up eventually as a jump ball, and this time, again, it goes back to Adelphi, so Robinson inbounding here to O'Connell, and Chestnut Hill now 1 for their last 9 from the floor as well, so they've got to get the offense back clicking a bit.
Robinson was calling for an arm block there against Avery White. Didn't get it.
Asensio with a nice take, and she finishes with that left hand. So Panthers have found a way to get to the rim, maybe a bit more in this second than we saw in the first, and it has certainly paid some dividends. Now a fast break chance. Asensio ahead of the pack for Sanchez. Euro step inside, count the shot, and 1 for Sanchez.
Huge boost of confidence for the Panthers, especially with Chestnut Hill continuing to lurk. An absolutely dominant performance there by Christina Sanchez. Really another good talent that Sade Jackson brought in a few years ago. We have not seen her full potential as of yet, especially on the defensive side. That's something and a hallmark that she comes in with.
Yeah, and again, no surprise, too. We saw the kind of guard that Jackson was as a player, and she has certainly brought in some impressive guards so far during her coaching time here and done a great job with players like Sanchez, Asensio, O'Connell, as this one is knocked down. Chestnut Hill again trying to trim that lead back, and with under 2 to play here in the third. It is 54-43 Adelphi. Asensio for O'Connell, returns it on the handoff. Back up top again for O'Connell. Drives to her left. And saw some tall trees there, just tried to put it up, and it wouldn't go. Back comes Boylan the other way. Kicks it left side, extra pass to the corner for Sanders. 3-ball is no good, pops out to White, and she will make the most of the offensive rebound and second chance points there. And now Sade Jackson frustrated, having a long conversation with the ref, but she is going to take a full timeout on the floor, so we will take a timeout here as well, with the Panthers leading 54-45. You're watching NE10 now here on Flo College. And a welcome back here to Garden City, Long Island, 54-45, the lead for Adelphi. What is becoming a busy weekend here on the campus of Adelphi. Of course, a doubleheader here today with the Adelphi men's and women's basketball teams. And then tomorrow, the Adelphi women's soccer team playing in the Northeast 10 championship game, where they will host Franklin Pierce in a rematch of a very nice contest that Adelphi won 2-1 back on October the 19th. So certainly excited to see that one tomorrow, as well as a nice response out of the timeout by the Panthers as Benton knocks down the left elbow jumper. Here is Sanders going to work against Robinson. Hands it off to White. She'll try it left side. It's no good. And rebounded by O'Connell. And again, as you mentioned earlier, Joey, O'Connell has really rebounded it well so far today. 7 boards to go along with 5 assists, 2 steals, and of course those 15 points.
Yeah, she has been all over the place, and you really cannot contain her at all. She's moving a lot better too, Tom, as opposed to last year as well.
They try to go back inside to Benton. It was a good feed by Asensio. Missed the shot, but on the offensive rebound, Adelphi can now hold for 1.
Just the 4th offensive board here this afternoon.
Down to about 7. Now 5 for Asensio, down to 3. Gets the left elbow with a jumper, no good. And that is going to end this third quarter, but Adelphi able to get themselves back in front here and leading 56-45 with 1 quarter to play. So again, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the conclusion of this one as you're watching NE10 now here on Flo College. Back here in Garden City, I'm Tom Birdie. He's Joey Jarzinka. A 56-45 lead for Adelphi. 1 quarter of play remaining. And after a big early lead for Adelphi, it's been a little bit more back and forth the rest of the way. Now Adelphi again back with a decent lead heading into the fourth, Joey. So how do they try to close it out now and not let what happened early in the game with Chestnut Hill sneaking back in happen again?
Yeah, just tighten up on the defensive side, right? We told you just a few moments ago roughly with those 9 steals, right? They have not been able to convert any there on the points off a turnover. 9 steals and 11 off there, but again, not much. And now we're seeing Caitlin O'Connell kind of take over. And now I think she's going to have to do a little bit more just to really solidify things.
McCann, Mobley, and Ryder back in. Edwards, Boylan, and Adelican out for Chestnut Hill starting this fourth, and it was McCann with that early miss. Now Sanchez tries a long one. That's a miss as well, but another long rebound in the corner there for Asensio, and something you touched on a few minutes ago, Joey. Adelphi hasn't had a lot of offensive rebounds, but they've gotten a couple now in the last few trips. Now Robinson will try for 3, no good, and this time Chestnut Hill will gather. Push it back down the left side. Chance here again for Mobley. Works it along for White. Gets a screen from Sanders. Back to McCann. Good vision to the far side of the floor, but Benton does well, and now she denies the entry pass here. Eventually leads to a steal for Rolanda Robinson, and that is turnover number 16 on the afternoon for the Griffins.
10th steal for the Adelphi team. How do they convert these points off a turnover? How do they get that?
Asensio driving against McCann, kicks out for Benton, and Benton is whistled for the travel. Otherwise, that would have been certainly a nice move in the post down there. I think Coach Jackson is even trying to confirm on what exactly was the traveling situation there, but it will be again back with the Griffins. 8:20 here to go, and we'll see if Chestnut Hill can get back to some of those three-point shots. They started to answer Adelphi's three-point shooting a bit in the second and third, but McCann instead will go inside the paint for 2 here and trims it back to single digits again at 56-47. So here is Asensio, left side to O'Connell. On again to Robinson. Benton trying to show off her range and misses the long 2. Coach Jackson, I don't think, looked too thrilled about the shot selection there, but
yeah, to say the least. And again, that's something too that we're going to have to keep our eyes out on. Really, Tom, since that first quarter, shot selection has been, let's call it out of 10, I would say maybe a 6.
Sanders will try a step back 2, and she gets it to go on the front rim roll. So again, we talked about Sanders providing a real spark off the bench. She's now tied for the team lead with 13 to go along with 7 rebounds. And here a foul on the edge against McCann. And so Adelphi will inbound the ball. That is the first team foul against either side, I believe, here to start this fourth.
Adelphi has done such a good job containing White. McCann has been a thorn in the side, but Adelican, Tom, we have not really spoken about her since that first quarter, or rather since that second quarter. And Adelphi has done a really good job containing her down the stretch.
She comes back in, and Adelphi answers by going with Koopy as well on that inside, so we'll see how that matchup plays out. Sanchez, right side on the runner, no good. Adelican the rebound. Here is Boylan on the right side. Little ball fake. Tries to go baseline and got absolutely nothing there. Really nice D down low by Koopy. Robinson, nice little interplay there with O'Connell. Got her a wide open look for 3, but no good. And so back comes McCann. The feed down low. Difficult shot is off glass and in for Ryder, so nice turnaround finish from the big down low.
Again, really good stuff in the paint. Let's look at that points in the paint. Well, Chestnut Hill, they're still trailing in that department, but they look so much better than Adelphi does there.
Asensio with a nice 2, connects on the jumper and pushes it back up to a 7-point game. Right back is McCann with a big 3, and Chestnut Hill refuses to go quietly. It is back down to a 4-point contest as McCann, now 18 in the game, the reigning CACC Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, there's really not much you could do there if you're Adelphi. Again, the passing way too quick there, and again, just moving over. She's red hot right now.
And here a turnover by the Panthers, and a bad turnover right back by Chestnut Hill. As unfortunately for them, Adelcan not quite on the same page there as Ryder, and it winds up in the Adelphi bench. And that gives the Panthers a fortunate ball back here.
We always talk about a seesaw of momentum, and I think if Chestnut Hill would have potentially converted off of that huge block.
As Sanchez tries to answer for 3, no good.
I think that would have been really difficult here. Let's see how they can potentially respond here after that crucial turnover.
They go inside to Adelcan and had a pretty good look at finishing that one with a chance for a 3-point play, but instead she'll have to go to the line for 2 here. And again, so far she's been 50% in this game, 3 of 6. But as we said, came in leading the team in attempts and makes from the free throw line, and she's been their most consistent one getting back there. She's now going to have 8 of their 10 free throw attempts on the day. First one is up and good for Adelcan, and these are 2 big ones, certainly.
64% as a team, good for 9th in the CACC. And we always say this in the sport of basketball, very simple. You have to make your free throws. It could make or break a game.
Yeah, especially these close games, and a good job there going 2 of 2 to bring them to 5 of 10 on the day. So, I mean, even if they were 7 of 10, right, Joey, that would be a tie game right now. So just some big points being left out there by the Griffins. The drive and kick from Robinson, extra pass for Asensio, and that one was long. Now McCann flying back up the court the other way. Finds White on the outside. Nice feed inside for Adelcan, and that one is no good, and O'Connell keeps her dribble alive there. And we'll see, it looks like she dribbles this one right over to Coach Jackson, who wants to take a 30-second timeout. So we will keep it here with 4:27 left to play, and the Panthers leading by 2. And Tom Verdi here alongside Joey Jarzinka. And Joey, let's put the coach's hat on you here. A timeout here for Coach Jackson. Who do you think Adelphi should try to get the ball to on this offensive possession? Of course, needing a big bucket here. Anybody standing out to you right now, or who do you think they might try to get involved here on offense out of the timeout?
I mean, right now, the one that I'm very focused on would be Rolanda Robinson. And the reason why is because right now she's a bit cold at this moment in time, but she has the ability to warm up so fast and to just get red hot. And you brought this up perfectly earlier, Tom, is that she can do a little bit of everything when she's not in foul trouble, right? She's sitting with 1 foul currently. She leads the team with the 3 turnovers, but 6 for 16 from the field, 7 boards. She is the leading the second leading rebounder just behind Caitlin O'Connell. And I want to see her get involved a little bit more and get scrappy down low.
Robinson will move it along towards Morgan, who just checked back in the game, and it looks like a foul on the edge here. So second team foul of the quarter against the Griffins. Both teams have stayed out of trouble in the team fouls department so far this quarter. 2 for the Griffins now and just 1 for Adelphi. So they will inbound it again here to O'Connell. Sanders checking in for Adelcan in that last timeout as well. And Morgan to her left here. Tries the 2, no good. Robinson with a nice save, but she winds up giving it right back to McCann, unfortunately. 3 ball on the way from Boylan, and talk about an early pop in the timer. And Chestnut Hill gets a fortunate break there as it winds up last out off of a Panther. And so they will hang on to the possession down low in a 2-point contest.
That's so unfortunate with Victoria Morgan. All you got to do is just hold on to that ball and make sure your eyes are on the ball. That's fundamentals
They started it with McCann. Now they move it along. Sanchez doing a good job there on the perimeter against Mobley. Mobley to her right. Nice feed down low, and how about the look from Kea Mobley? Able to find, I think it was Ryder there on the left block for a nice 2. Tie game at 58.
That's all you need, right? Just go over a few inches, find that mismatch, and they found exactly that.
And here Adelphi goes to Robinson, as you mentioned earlier, Joey, a player that can really do some nice things on the offensive side. A big answer for Adelphi. Griffins go back to Sanders here and just can't cash in on the layup. Was a very good look there. And so now they'll have to refocus on the defensive side, trailing by 2. O'Connell here, left side to Robinson. Faces up, tries the free throw line pop, can't connect. And back comes Boylan the other way. For McCann, quick pop for 3, in and out. Let's see the big rebound here, and Sanders not able to corral it. And very nearly a turnover, but it's going to go as a kick ball against Chestnut Hill. Sanders will check back out. White on her way back in here. And so again, this one will stay with Adelphi on the kick ball as they remain in front by 2 here with 2:33 left to go in this contest. And with that last make, Robinson is back in the team lead for Adelphi with 16. O'Connell 15. Asensio also in double figures with 12. And for Chestnut Hill, Bridie McCann in front with 18 points. But we've got a full timeout on the floor, so we will step aside. Just 2:33 to go. Don't go anywhere. You're watching NE10 now here on Flow College.
During the January 28th basketball doubleheader. The first 100 students in attendance will receive a free Adelphi Athletics BD. Those 3 dates once again, Tuesday, January 11th, Tuesday, January 14th, and welcome back dash on January 28th. Yeah, this session is dedicated to
Back here in Garden City, Tom Verdi alongside Joey Jarzinka, our producer Ryan Hahn. 2-point lead for Adelphi, 2:33 left to go. And of course, at this point, every possession becomes so critical and can make or break the contest. Panthers will have the ball after a kickball against Chestnut Hill, and Coach Megan Fox calling the full timeout there. So you'd imagine, I guess, probably trying to draw up a play for defense and then maybe also what they want to do on offense, hoping that they can get a stop here and have a chance to tie the game. And Adelphi will see what they drew up in that timeout. It is Asensio, and she is fouled on the free throw line jumper. So she will go to the free throw line for 2. Panthers 4 for 6 so far from the charity stripe today, and it'll be the first attempts on the afternoon for Asensio, who comes in at 64% from the line and connects on the first.
Yeah, and something that, again, really want to see here, and if Adelphi were to fall in this game, Tom, I'm looking at 2 things. I'm looking at 3 things. Offensive rebounds, I'm looking at points off the turnover, and I'm looking at second chance points. And those are key statistics that you need in order to win a game.
Asensio taking care of business with the 2-for-2 trip. The lead is 4. Here is McCann. Drives, kicks. Pretty good look for 3. It's no good. And this one winds up as an air ball, essentially, and last off of Chestnut Hill. So Ryder not able to keep that one in play. And now Adelphi again. It'll be under 2 minutes to go here. And a 4-point lead. Want to take care of the ball, of course. Asensio, nice look inside, and the finish will not fall there. So pretty good look, but Kupi just not able to convert. Back the other way, Chestnut Hill won't go. And then stepping on the line there is Kupi. So Chestnut Hill will keep it, but pretty good look. They got Kupi in a decent area inside the paint. Just couldn't quite knock it down. And now Chestnut Hill finding McCann. With Sanchez all over her, Sanchez does good defensively. And the air ball is forced. It'll be a Adelphi ball here with 1:37 to go. And more down the stretch, we've seen them going with Sanchez against McCann to try to limit her.
Yeah, and again, we told you about her stifling effort on defense. She's probably their best defender out there, so they got to keep her as long as possible.
O'Connell with a big three. That would have given them some cushion, but instead, the Griffins can come back the other way. Again, they go to McCann. And McCann smothered. And the combination of Asensio and Sanchez forcing the turnover. And now Adelphi can take this one under 1 minute to play on this possession.
Still a combined time, 3 timeouts between these two programs.
Update you on the fouls as well. 3 for the Griffins, 1 for Adelphi. And this one is going to go against Adelphi. So that is a killer. Giving the ball right back to Chestnut Hill. And it is Kupi getting charged for the offensive there. So a gift back to Chestnut Hill. 49.1 left. So plenty of time for them down 4. They could go for 2 certainly here. But see how quickly they want to go for it. The feed inside to Sanders, in trouble, and she gets it to go. Coach Jackson is screaming for a travel, but no call coming. And now we'll see if Chestnut Hill can wait long enough here or if they decide to foul, and before any of that can happen, a timeout will be taken by Coach Jackson. So 29.5 seconds left on the clock. And with another full timeout here, we'll step aside. It's a 2-point game as you're watching NE10 now here on Flow College. So back here for the final time in Garden City, 29.5 left on the clock. 62-60 is the lead for Adelphi. And certainly in what has been a game that they have had to fight off this resilient Chestnut Hill team. They've got the ball in their hands here. 23 left on the shot clock. And a chance to try to put this game away. Robinson will inbound it to O'Connell, joined by Asensio, Kupi, and Sanchez out there as the 5 for Adelphi. They go to Sanchez up top. Hands off again for O'Connell on the edge. One more for Asensio, 10 left to shoot. And this one is a hand check foul on the edge. And so Adelphi will inbound the ball here with 14.4, and the trouble with that is now Chestnut Hill has no choice but to foul because the shot clock has now been turned off after the foul, so they could have tried to force a miss and would have had about 5 or 6 seconds left, but instead on the foul, on the inbound, a foul is called there, and Chestnut Hill didn't like the call. I think it works out anyway because Adelphi looked like they were going to hold on to possession.
Yep.
And very little time came off the clock. So now That's the 5th team foul finally for Chestnut Hill. So 2 shots on the way for Asensio with 13.6 left here, and she's coming off a 2-for-2 trip just a moment or two ago.
It was close. It was definitely close on that far side.
And that was the must. You had to hit one there to make it at least a 3-point game. And now a chance again for Asensio to try to make it a 4-point game. And she does, so that was big, certainly. Now Chestnut Hill will take a timeout. I believe that will allow them to advance the ball as well here. And so for them, again, I mean, you could go for the 3. You could try to get a super quick 2 and then foul again. I mean, either way, but you're probably going to need at least 2 buckets unless you somehow hit a 3 and get the foul in 1. So whatever you do for Chestnut Hill, you've got to do it quickly here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, to be able to do that rather quickly against this stifling defense for Adelphi is a task in and itself. And to do it in 13.6 seconds, I don't want to say that it's impossible, but again, that last free throw made by Bella Asensio is just, it's a real, it just takes the wind out of the sails there that Chestnut Hill has been trying to keep sailing.
So this has been a close game throughout. The final game before conference play begins Wednesday the 20th at what has been a historically very good Bentley University program. So a very tough test to open things up for the Panthers there. Way too much time coming off the clock here. Eventually Sanders will put up a 3 late. It is a miss. Adelphi the rebound, and only 2.7 seconds left, so you'd have to think that pretty much will seal the deal for Adelphi, as Asensio will go back to the free throw line. So again, we mentioned it, at Bentley to open up conference play, then back here at home for a non-conference tilt against their local rival from just down the road in Rockville Center, Malloy University, before again playing their last game before Thanksgiving and the little bit of a Thanksgiving break there, hosting Southern Connecticut State, another NE10 tilt. So 2 of the next 3 coming up in conference before that Thanksgiving break. And Asensio takes care of business, going 2 for 2. 66-60 is the lead. A heave here at the buzzer, and that will do it. So the Panthers able to hang on and take this one 66-60 over a Chestnut Hill team that again had 20 wins a season ago. And Coach Jackson's team will move to 3-1 with the NE10 opener coming up next. So all in all, even with the battle back from Chestnut Hill and things getting a little bit tight there at times for Adelphi, they are able to hang on for the win. And of course, don't go anywhere, because Joey Jarzinka will be bringing you a post-game interview with a member of the Adelphi coaching staff, and I think it is going to be Sade Jackson as we recap some of the final scoring numbers for you here. And it was Asensio with that late charge. She will actually finish as the game high leader, or team high leader, tied for the game high. 18 points for Asensio, 16 for Rolanda Robinson, 15 for Caitlin O'Connell. And on the other side for Chestnut Hill, led by 18 from Bridie McCann and 15 as well from Sanders, in what was, again, in the end, a closely contested contest that the Panthers were able to hang on and take this 66-60, the final. And as we said as well, a big win for Adelphi as they are set to begin conference play in their next timeout on the 20th. That is on Wednesday, a 5:30 matchup on the road at Bentley. And so I think Adelphi will be feeling good to get the win here on their home floor. And as again, we are set to bring you the post-game interview shortly here. Joey Jarzinka alongside Adelphi head coach Sade Jackson. And so let's now send it down to those guys. Again, Joey with head coach Jackson.
6-60 victory over Chestnut Hill. Sade, we can exhale now. That 19-point lead evaporates. What's the message to get your team back on track?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about before the game, my message was us versus us, and I think that's just the same message. No matter how well we played in that first quarter, we took a couple steps backwards today. So going into next week against Bentley, we got to be even more detailed oriented.
You take a peek at KK, and you and I got a chance to discuss it earlier in the week, right? Shoot's the mentality, and boy, did she put up a ton of attempts and was able to translate into results.
Yeah, I mean, today wasn't one of her best shooting days, but we need her to shoot it whether it's going in or not. Those are the best shots we're going to get in our offense.
Taking a peek at Bentley this coming Wednesday, what's your message heading into a really difficult Bentley team?
Details and execution. Details and execution. Every possession has to matter for us.
All right, Sade, thank you very much, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll send it back up to Tom Verdi in a few moments, right here on NE10 Now, powered by Flow Sports. Yeah, no, that's my fault. That's my fault. Yeah, because I know you said that too in the email. Okay. Make sure we do that. Make sure we do that. I'll do that. Or he'll do that.
Yes, that's how Ryan is done with this guy.